Yeah, I think at this point you always feel like you got better. We kind of said it, the theme of the spring was really those 10 new guys we brought in, and then how they hopped in and really brought some good competition, brought some good depth, and I think that really made us a better team right off the bat. And so hopefully come fall camp through the summer they'll understand it a little bit better and really continue to grow.
What areas of weakness do you feel like were exposed throughout the spring that you want to be really intentional about as we get closer to the fall?
Yeah, I think you're always looking for depth on the O-line and D-line. I think we'd like to bring in another few bodies offensively on that O-line and then defensive line the same way. So we have some scholarships set aside. Once the coaches go on the road, they're going to be looking to hopefully bring some more bodies in for the summer. Yeah, he's really focused on his academics. That's the point we're at. We're trying to get him through the school year, get him into summer workouts, making sure he's eligible.
Do you expect him to be here in the fall?
I do. I think it's just a deal. We felt like he went through about 8 practices in the spring, and then it was time to focus on academics.
Your overall thoughts on Nick and his progress and where he's at right now?
Yeah, I mean, he's made big strides. I saw a bunch of good stuff throughout fall whenever he had all the reps of the ones during practice, and he's picked right up. Still has to take care of the ball a little bit better, and that's always going to be that way at that position. But like the leadership, like the way he's throwing the football, like the decision making, just sometimes you can't make every throw, and you got to learn when to throw that ball away.
What's the one thing that Coach Dykes helped teach you as a coach yourself?
I mean, there's a ton of things, I wouldn't be here if it weren't for Coach Dykes, so he's meant a lot to me. But I think the overall is just be good to people. He was win, lose, or draw. He treated people the right way and made you feel important.
Was there a story about him that sticks out to you that just makes you laugh, or anything you really remember about him?
I mean, he has so many one-liners, and I got to see him about a month ago, and I was supposed to be the speaker, and he shut the place down, so it made life easy for me. But no, just like I said, special human. All of us knew at any moment, any time, we could call him and he'd be there for us. It's very rare that you meet a person like that and stays with you your entire life.
Was there something that you hated doing as a player that you now do as a coach that would make Coach Dykes go, Coach?
No, I don't think so. I think, like I said, the biggest thing I tried to take from him was he always knew everybody's name, whether you were, 8-string walk-on from wherever or the starting star player. It didn't matter to him. He treated you the same, and that went a long way with all the players on his team.
How do you feel about your backup situation at quarterback right
now? I think we made progress there, but I think by fall camp I'll feel better, get one more arm in there, and then keep that competition going. But Clayne got better, only really having 15 practices, needs another summer to study it, to keep working, has a really good skill set, but the mental part has to come along. And then Xavier, just young, had some flashes, moves the ball when he's in there, but same deal, just has to really have a good summer and keep coming. And then Payne, I thought made some strides, but we just have to get better overall and take care of the football.
Could you talk about Zach Kitley and what he's meant to your quarterback room and how he's helped your team and maybe helped you be able to do what you're doing? Yeah, he's been fantastic. He was really the one who sat down with Nick, and when Nick first got here, and believed in him and taught him the offense and met with him every day. And he's a guy, if I have something to do, I can give the quarterbacks to him, and he knows it inside and out as well as I do. So he's pretty irreplaceable right now, and we're really lucky to have him. Is that taking some pressure off of you?
I don't know about pressure, but it's definitely get freed up some time when I can go sit in different meeting rooms, go talk to different coaches and hand it over to him, and trusting that, because I haven't really been with another guy that was underneath me that I trusted like that with the quarterbacks.
What's the ceiling on him? Can he be a head coach someday, or even an offensive coordinator?
Yeah, he's really sharp. He's really sharp. He's got a great rapport with those guys. So, I mean, the sky's the limit, I think.
How did he kind of build up to that level of trust? How did he kind of, because he's kind of like, I guess, Nick, he kind of had to start.
Yeah, he started at the bottom. I met him a few years ago when he came, and he was grinding on film and doing some of that type stuff. And the last couple of years he sat in that meeting room with me, and I watched his report. I'd kind of give him the young guys to work with, and he did a fantastic job with them, did a fantastic job at summer camps working with the quarterbacks, and just really like his energy and the way he coaches and the way he handles those guys. And so now I feel comfortable giving him that room and letting him work with those guys full time.
I was going to say, does he work exclusively with quarterbacks, or does other parts of the offense?
He does quarterbacks, and then he's kind of a head special teams, kind of quality control, graduate assistant guy as well.
What have you seen from Houston Miller this spring?
You know, we moved him more down inside. He had always been a kind of a stand-up rush, and so he's getting used to. He's gained a bunch of weight, so he's getting used to being down in there and that type of physicality. But I like where he's headed. I think we're going to continue to try and put weight on him, have him be one of those bigger inside pieces that can be physical and be tough to move inside.
With Nelson, is that kind of the same thought right now, or are you just kind of moving him back and forth to see where
just moving him back and forth, which is tough on a young guy, and we know that, but trying to figure out where the need is most and what he's best at. He's been kind of that end, kind of been down inside, and for a kid who should still be in high school, has really come a long way this spring.
Do you feel like you have a dominant pass rusher, a pure pass rusher on the team that can command double teams, or not?
Yeah, I don't know. You know, I've seen some good things. I think Lonzel's shown some flashes out there. I think Zach Barnes, we moved him around, has done some good things. Colin Hill. But we'll keep working, and like I said, we have some scholarships set aside, and that could be a priority this spring.
So about your running back room and where those guys are at right now?
Yeah, you know, getting Jay Stock banged up and then DeLeon banged up, obviously it's really down to Felton and Caleb right now, taking most of the reps, and that's tough. We've been doing some more empty still. Probably haven't been able to run it as much as we'd like with only 2 running backs, but we just got to keep going. They got to keep growing, and everybody knows we didn't run the ball very well last year, and that's something they have to take personal. And we got a big running back coming in fall camp, and that's another position we're probably going to be looking for in the spring to bring a guy in, whether it's a grad transfer or junior college, in this summer.
Any chance the team gets the double T back? I know that was a big storyline starting.
Not right now.
Not spring?
Not right now. We're going to have to get things a little bit tighter before we get that back.
Cliff, back on Zach for a moment. I was trying to remember, what year is this on staff?
I want to say it's like going into 4, or maybe this was 4. It's 3 or 4.
Right. Was he with you at the start or the second?
I think he was maybe the second year he came in. But yeah, obviously, Coach Kitley is legendary at what he does, and he's watched his dad coach and the work ethic, and he's here early and stays late and wants to be really good at it. So it's really been a godsend for me to have a guy I can trust and leave that room and know that they're going to get coached the way I want to be coached.
So the breakdown then with him versus, say, Eric is, how do you kind of differentiate those 2 roles?
Yeah, Eric is more scripting, game planning, things of that nature, and where Zach is more coaching the quarterback specifically. And that's really how that works out.
What would you like to see from the rest of the spring this week from your team?
Yeah, just respond to have our best practice of the spring. You want the last one to be the best one. Without a spring game after it, it's a tendency to kind of fade, knowing they don't have a game. But I'd like to see the maturity of our team step up and have our best spring practice be the last one.
Good one. Is there a guy or a couple of guys who may have surprised you from the beginning to end the spring?
I think Lonzo Gilmore, really. I mean, he flashed every scrimmage, every day in practice, been all over the place. And then offensively, I think Travis Bruffy had tackle, had really slid in there and did a good job for a guy who got limited reps last year, has really held his own there at left tackle for us.